Is a falling rupee good or bad for your wallet? And why did the Indira Gandhi government deliberately devalue the Indian rupee in the year 1966? There's an ongoing debate in India whether rupee's depreciation against the US dollar is beneficial for the economy. Supporters of the government argue that a cheaper rupee helps exporters. Opponents of the government recall that Mr. Modi himself used to criticize the Manmohan Singh government for a falling rupee before he became the Indian Prime Minister. Political arguments aside, there are several domestic and global factors at play that decide the true value of a currency. In 2026, the RBI is seen as defending the Indian rupee by selling US dollars. Economists are divided whether the RBI should do that, and if yes, then to what extent. But there was also a time when India, under the leadership of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, devalued the Indian rupee. In other words, rupee's value was deliberately lowered for economic reasons. 60 years ago, when Indians woke up on June 6, 1966, the Indian government had already devalued the rupee by 36.5%. Overnight, $1 became 57.4% more expensive compared to the Indian rupee. A day earlier, $1 was worth 4.76 rupees. After the devaluation, $1 was worth 7.5 Indian rupees. It was a difficult decade for India as the country had already fought two wars with both Pakistan and China. Food production was under immense strain due to drought. Foreign exchange reserves had almost dried up and the country was under pressure from the World Bank. But this was not the last time India devalued its currency. 25 years later, India was staring at a balance of payments crisis. And in July 1991, the currency was devalued twice, first on July 1 and then later again on July 3. This resulted in a devaluation of about 18% in US dollar terms. The value of $1 increased from 21 to 25.98 rupees overnight. 35 years later, $1 is nearly 4 times more expensive than in 1991. And Indians find themselves debating once again, is a falling rupee beneficial or harmful for the jobs and businesses? A falling rupee has its own disadvantages and some advantages. A weaker currency increases the competitiveness of India's exports, including pharmaceuticals and IT services. At the same time, a falling rupee is a huge drag on the economy as India imports more than 85% of its crude oil from international markets. Higher energy prices result in inflation as transportation and logistics costs increase. As a result, prices of everything from fruits and vegetables to electronics items start increasing. So why are some economists arguing against RBI's intervention? Chairman of the 16th Finance Commission Arvind Panagaria earlier had a piece of advice for India's central bank. He noted, "Dear RBI, do not let the psychology of rupees 100 per dollar determine your policy response. 100 is just a number like 99 and 101. Whether the oil shortage is short-lived or long-lived, the right response at this moment is to let the rupee depreciate." Mr. Panagaria further added, "This is not 2013. Inflation was in double digits back then. Thanks to your prudent monetary management, that is not the case now. Therefore, the economy is well positioned to absorb some inflationary pressure that will accompany the depreciation." While India debates whether RBI should deploy its forex to shield the Indian rupee, export-driven economies like China are accused of deliberately suppressing the value of their currencies to make exports even more competitive. In the end, the truth is that a weaker rupee is neither entirely good nor entirely bad. It helps exporters but hurts import-dependent sectors and consumers. And policymakers have two stark choices in India: either to let market forces decide the value of Indian rupee or make measured moves every now and then to calibrate Indian rupee's exchange rate.